Hello everyone and welcome to a new video of Game Plan. Today we're going to talk about general conquest tactics that you can both use for regular conquest and conquest assault. We're going to first look at what flags you want to capture first to build up momentum, and then three basic concepts you can use to build up a decent strategy. These concepts are speed, resistance and focus, and these are just the ways that I think about it. Pros might think about it differently. Lastly, we'll see how you can get out of a spawn camp. The first capture strategies, well, basically you can split this up into three strategies. Either you go for the first flag, you go for middle flag, or the last flag. First flag is what you should always do if you don't really know much about the opposing team, you're new in the lobby, or you know that the teams are balanced. It gets you points most quickly, and also gets your team a flag most quickly so you can spawn. But then the middle flag is a good idea when the opposing team is actually quite strong, which is the case in this match. We've fought against this team a few times now, and it's been very close each time. And when we take the B flag, we'll be able to spawn there and move on to both the A flag and the C flag, so we won't have one continuous front that you would have if you actually went for the closest one. Going for the last flag is a bit of an odd strategy, because if you do that, it's pretty much a surprise attack. It might work, it might not. Something you could think of doing if you're in a tank, for instance. Here you see I don't actually manage to get the B flag, but I'm able to clear out the tank that is there, because I didn't expect anybody to be coming from behind those houses, and now one of our teammates put in a spawn beacon, and after this we actually take the flag. Speed. Speed is one of the first and most important concepts that you need to set up a good strategy for conquest. Speed is both about how fast you take the flags, as well as just a basic strategy that you use constantly. You want to keep moving. It's the opposite of camping. The thing is that in Conquest you have two basic and obvious resources, which are the flags and your tickets that will bleed away when the opponent has the majority of the flags, and the tickets go down for every kill, or actually for every person that spawns back in. Now, how does this relate to speed? Well, the thing is that the bleeding of the tickets has a much bigger impact on everything than how many kills you make, and you need to be an extremely good player to actually make much of a difference only in kills. So 9 out of 10 people are much better off just trying to get the flags. So for instance, here you can see there's a lot of fighting going on at C, but you know, maybe I'll make a difference, maybe I don't, but I know I'll make a difference if I help these guys take B, because we don't have that flag yet, and in the time in between when we actually have flag B and C, we'll be bleeding off tickets from them, and they won't be able to spawn back in there. Well, if I'd focused on C, they could have spawned back in at B. And now I'm just trying to make sure that the coast is clear, and then I actually go on and run for A. Resistance. Well, this is also called like momentum and power and stuff like that. And resistance is basically what I experience as how strong is the enemy. When you run into a group of the enemy, will they win or will you win? Wherever basically the front lines are, who's going to come out best. And what you see here is our team is trying to make a go for the flags in the back, which are the D and the E flags, but there are a bunch of enemies in that location as well. I managed to take out a tank here, and my team is fighting now. Well, I tried to spawn in. Now there's a lot of fighting going on, and what I decide is that they are stronger than us, and those are basically two situations. Either there's more resistance than you can deal with, the opposing team is stronger, or there's less resistance. If there's less resistance, then you always look for the enemy, which is most typically illustrated by spawn camping. But when there's more resistance than you can handle, you actually try to avoid fights and go for the path of least resistance, which in this case was just running through and going for the flag. Because of this, my teammates could not spawn on me, and we all managed to take the flag together, instead of me also trying to help them fight up there, and we would have all died. And then the last concept is focus, which is closely related to situational awareness. Now, I don't have the best situational awareness. I try, but it's hard. But focus is basically my idea of where do I expect enemies to be and where do the enemies expect me to be. In this case, I'm running for A. I'm in a bit of a rush because I managed to take 2 other flags before this, and I just run into the middle, kill these 2 enemies, but of course I completely light up on the map and everybody knows where I am, and I'm exactly in the opponent's focus. It's cool that I got 2 kills, but in the end that really doesn't mean anything. For as long as they have the flag, they can just spawn back in there and have the upper hand over there. So now I spawn on my buddy, which is on a bit of a sideways position from their flag, and now instead of engaging them, and they expect us to come from the direction of the B flag or even the C flag, I go all the way behind and use the basic concept of flanking. Flanking is being where the opponent doesn't expect you to be, and then sneaking up on them from behind. So here I'm coming in the opposite direction of all the other flags. I'm going into the house that is opposite to the A flag instead of the house that the A flag is on. As you can see, none of the enemies are here, but none of the enemies are even looking in this direction, because you can see these guys are sweeping the houses under the A flag. And now I got 2 kills and there's nobody here to take it out on me like last time because I'm completely out of their focus. Now, it's not only important in how you move, where you expect the opponent's focus to be and your own, it's also when you take the flags. You can only take flags in a small area around the flag itself. So what you want to do is you want to either move around a lot or hide in spots where they won't expect you to be and where you can easily look at the spots that they are likely to be. It's all basically a guessing game or a game of anticipation, like anticipating where they are. Here, I expect people to be on that opposite house, that's normal. I expect people to come up the stairs, but now a lot of people of my own friends are dying here on this platform because of course the opponent knows that we're all up here and can just shoot and splash damage the hell out of everyone. But because I'm all the way out on this rim and somehow they haven't really caught on to that, I sort of dodged their focus and managed to take out a few of them, stay alive and take the flag, and my squad could spawn on me. And now I need to get off of this platform, which they are all focused on, so I try to get an opening and jump off. Now, all these 3 concepts can be applied to escaping spawn campers, because that's of course one of the typical situations in Conquest, is you lose all the flags and then you're stuck in your spawn. Every time you try to run out, you die. It's not so much a basic strategy of Conquest to be able to get out of that, because of course you shouldn't get into that in the first place, but it happens to all of us, and it's not possible to get out of every spawn camp. If your opponent organizes their front lines properly and cut off all the exit routes, then it's not very likely that you'll get out, especially not on certain maps. Metro is very infamous for this. Saint Crossing is a bit in the middle. Me and my buddy Crodon here were on the strong team, like we were spawn camping the opponents, but we weren't really getting any kills and we were pretty much bored out of our minds, so we actually decided to switch to the other team. Our team had 8 members and the opposing team had 3 members, not counting ourselves, so we balanced it out to 8 and 5. But the match was already half finished, so it wasn't that we expected to make any difference or to make it a win, but we felt that we would have a lot more fun trying to get out of a spawn camp than trying to spawn camp the opponent. So here we're going to see how we can use the 3 concepts I talked about. Speed, first of all, I keep running. I need to get to those flags as fast as possible. Moving slowly is only going to make it likely that they'll notice me. Second, focus. I'm taking the outside bridge here because the opponent is completely focused on the middle bridge and they're all spawning at A and expecting us to go to A, so I'm going to B instead. Then thirdly, the resistance part is that I don't engage any of the enemies if I don't have to. They are much stronger than me, so if I might be able to kill one and then they kill me and then we're back in our spawn. And here again, an example of focus is that I'm looking at this window, very likely that they're going to be coming from this direction, and Crodon is actually looking in completely different directions so that we got all our bases covered. Now, I would have gotten this guy if he hadn't thrown such a such a lucky grenade. Okay, so we still have B, try to spawn in there as quick as possible, and again, focus. They are focused on B, I run to D. Speed. D is the closest point that I can get to, so I go there. Lastly, resistance. They are much stronger than me and Crodon alone, so we completely ignore them and just try to take the flags. Now, on top of that, you can see on the minimap that Crodon is running off. He's going to C, because that will make us get flags even quicker. If we're together or apart, it doesn't really matter in terms of resistance, because we are outnumbered by such a huge margin. And lastly, focus, because we have to split up their focus now. They're going to go to D first, and after that to C, because they will first see that D is being taken and D is closer to B, etc. So this way we have a chance of getting both flags. Now, as you can see, the cavalry just came in. I have no chance of survival here. I could have run out. I decided to try and hide, but then they saw me and it was chaos and I died. But now, of course, because we split up, Crodon is still alive and he's taking C, so when I spawn on him I can help him take C. We're hiding in this dumpster, which is a good hiding spot, but the moment they find where we are, there is no other exit. So our best hope is that they either don't notice us at all, which in this case they quite do notice us, and then secondly I just try to hold out as long as I can, so Crodon can spawn back on the C flag, hopefully. I focus on the one door that they can only come through, try to shoot near their heads. But yeah, there was no way to get out of here, and they knew where I was, so they could just shoot through the back of the container. And we're not in time to spawn on it. So we're back in our own spawn again, but now their attention is more divided. As you can see, they're still busy taking C, so now we're just gonna go for the closest spot, which is the A flag, but we're not gonna go over the bridge as expected. That middle bridge, if you're being spawn camped, you don't go over the middle bridge, because that's where they expect you to be, that's where the most resistance is going to be. You try to go around them, go where they're not focused, where there's no resistance, and where you can run through really quickly. Now, as you can see, we can already... There isn't actually anybody here at the A flag, but the cavalry is coming in. And they came in way too fast, so they couldn't actually take us out. And actually, if you look at it from the opponent's perspective, the tank should have known I was there and should have just shot away the wall, but he didn't. Anyway, the match is pretty much over now. As you can see, we only have 3 tickets left. So these were the basic thoughts I wanted to leave you with, was to think about which flags you take, try to take flags as quickly as you can, try to avoid big fights and strong resistance, and try to not be where the enemy expects you to be, and try to learn where you can expect the enemy to be. So if you liked this video, please subscribe, leave a comment or give it a thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching.